Hi, my name is Dylan Hong, and this is Dylan Hong Tech. Since I made my last video, I finished all my finals, I got a job, I started working at that job, I am now living in my first apartment with two of my good friends, and yeah, I've been up to a bunch, but now summer is here, I'm working, I have a steady schedule, and I'm gonna start making videos once a week again, and I am super excited. So today we're gonna be looking at these guys. The company AudioMX sent out these two headphones. One are casual listening Bluetooth over ears or on ears, and the other are open back studio monitoring headphones. Both of these headphones are about $60 and they are meant to serve vastly different purposes. When you start opening up the AudioMX studio headphones, you actually see that it's really well packaged, it's really nice, and the materials are surprisingly good for $60. These guys are open back headphones, which means that they make a larger sound stage, and it just allows sound to travel more freely through the headphones. And what really shocked me was how noticeable this effect was when I listened to music on these headphones compared to my other studio monitors. I could hear a different range of frequency that I was never able to hear before on my regular headphones. In fact, I was editing my last video with these headphones and I was actually able to hear some microphone hum that I had not been able to hear before. For the studio monitor headphones, the build quality is pretty good, especially for $60, considering that they sound really good. I think the trebles and mid-range are really good, clear, open sound, and the open back helps with that mid-range a lot too. On the bass side of things, it gets really weird. They sound they have a full sound, but specifically things like percussion and the heavy bass drums don't really sound good. The sound of these heavy hitting instruments kind of gets dampened out, but if you have bass in more electronic music, that actually comes out pretty clearly. So I'm not completely sure why they have this very special bass percussion dampening effect, but if you do things that very heavily focuses on talking, so when I record my audio and I go and post and edit it, these guys are really good for that. They were definitely comfortable enough for me to listen to them for long periods of time, and they worked really well for $60 as studio monitor headphones. So if you're new in YouTube or you're just making videos and you want some good editing headphones, I would actually recommend these guys. Do be warned though that open back headphones allow more sound to travel through the headphones, and also more sound escapes the headphones. So if you do work in, say, an office or somewhere that, it wouldn't be cool to have just noise blasting out of your ears, you should think about this. But if you work in a home office or something like what I do in my bedroom, I would recommend these guys. If we move on to the Bluetooth headphones that AudioMX sent over, they're okay. They sound decent, right? If you take a regular, wired pair of $40 headphones, they sound pretty comparable to that. So the mid-range and the treble is alright, the mid-ranges are a little dampened out, and there's clearly an attempt at bass, but really it's underwhelming. But they do sound pretty decent. I would be very happy listening to these in a casual setting. The one thing that really gets me annoyed with these headphones is how uncomfortable they are. They've got this really rigid locked shape. They don't go completely around your ears. They end up being pretty much on-ear headphones, which I don't like at all. They just sit on your ears, they make my ears hurt after 20 minutes. I avoid on-ear headphones at pretty much all cost. The Bluetooth functionality though is great. It's standard, it's not nearly as good as say Apple's W1 chip for their new wireless Bluetooth technology, but for Bluetooth headphones the pairing process is standard, it's what you would expect, and there's very little latency, so on the Bluetooth end of things, they do Bluetooth well, and sound comes across. You don't hear too much of wireless effect and sound degradation because of Bluetooth. I would just say that these could be good headphones if they weren't something that I just avoid putting on my head. And the reason that I'm bagging on these headphones so much for this is that they claim that they're over-ear headphones, and they are on-ear headphones. Be clear about that. They're not as comfortable as over-ears. If you don't mind on-ear headphones, or maybe aren't just picky at all with the comfort level of your headphones, these guys do look really cool, and they fold up nicely, and they sound decent for the price. So if comfort is not something you struggle with for headphones, you could go with these guys. So to recap everything about these two headphones, the studio monitors are definitely worth the price, and they're a really good listening and a good and unique listening experience that you don't really get for this price range. There are problems with them. They're not Audio Technicas, they're not high-end studio monitor headphones, but you get a very similar result for a very low price. And those guys are definitely worth $60, while the Bluetooth headphones, honestly, if you told me that they were $30, I'd say, probably. They sound alright, but build quality is not there. It just, I wouldn't want to wear these. If you're looking for a cheap studio monitor solution, I would say go ahead and pick these guys up. And if you're looking for some consumer Bluetooth headphones, maybe avoid these in particular, and I have a few other videos on my channel where I talk about Bluetooth headphones that are pretty surprisingly good for even cheaper than $60. My name is Dylan Hong, this has been Dylan Hong Tech. Like and subscribe for some more tech goodness, and thanks for watching.